We're going to go back a couple of weeks to the European Trials where we saw this beautiful young ethnically ambiguous gentleman win gold in the under 77 kilo division. Jozef Chen, who had to beat 3 of the best in the world on day 2 just to get on the podium. But first of all, day 1 against this gentleman whose name, I'm sorry, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it, that's crazy. Jozef hits a couple of Nicky Ryan wrestle-ups from the guard straight away. First time doesn't consolidate position, but the second time he does. And from there, we start seeing the passing that is going to make this kid famous, the high tripod leg pummel passing over the butterfly, which he does in every single match. Gets the gift wrap here and uses it to take the back really slick, pretty much instantly gets the body triangle in. And then once he has that, the face crank is on. This gentleman's turning purple. He looks like his brain's going to come out of his ears and taps immediately and then has to check if his brain did in fact come out of his ears. And he says, nope, we're good. So he congratulates Jozef and pulls up his pants that say #WeRule. Next up, against Paul Kretschmer, instantly puts himself in a guillotine position, which seems like a weird decision, but does work his way out of it. Tries to get a lateral drop here on Jozef, who ends up on top and again grabs the front headlock position, keeps those elbows pinched in, goes for a gator roll, which ends up in a really tight guillotine. Gets an insta-tap there and moves on to take on Talal Karaki in the third match of the day. Tries for a little slide by and ends up on top. And from here, he gets to work that lovely passing again. If you've got a butterfly, don't use it against Jozef Chen because he will pummel his legs in and he will get past it. And he'll do it over and over again. If you recompose it, he's just going to keep pummeling and he will, if it's in points, he's just going to keep racking up points. So he does that here, takes the gift wrap again to the back. Good position. Ends up squeezing on a one-handed rear naked choke that looks like it might have been in, but Karaki does a really good job of reversing it and ending up in guard. But 9 points are on the board for Jozef Chen, so that is going to be that. 3 matches, 3 wins on day 1. But then first match of day 3, he has to take on Mateusz Jasinski, who broke his foot last time out in 2022. Really bad injury, and so Jozef says, I'm going to break yours, jumps on a footlock of his own. But basically this whole match is Jozef smartly keeping his legs away from Jasinski, who attempts a lot of barambolos. Jozef again does really well using butt drags, leg drags, hip drags to keep safe in these positions. This time it does nearly work. Jasinski gets to like an octopus guard and uses it to take the back. Only gets the one hook in and Jozef fights his way out of it, manages to shuck him off. A lot of the time as well, Jasinski ends up getting into these reverse De La Hiva or De La Hiva situations and then trying to wrestle up, but Jozef does a really good job countering that with various sort of like inside-outside trips every time he stands up. And every time Jasinski does try and barambolo, Jozef nearly passes the guard, gets into north-south or just into side control, but no points get on the board. Again, Mateusz tries to wrestle up from that position, tries an inside trip, but Jozef again ends up on top. Doesn't get any points once more. Does hit this beautiful arm drag Kochigari. Again, no points because he doesn't consolidate the position. And that is how this one ends. He gets his revenge against Jasinski. He doesn't break his foot, but does get the W. And these people in the crowd are starting to get behind Jozef. Instantly though, he has to take on Tommy Langaker again. World class, very scary, very strong man. Again, starts using that tripod. He uses it even more in this one, and Langaker just thinks, if I can get a butterfly, there's no way I can't sweep you. He does manage to get into a full X guard here and start attacking the leg, but Jozef does a really good job of backstepping it out into open again. But again, he keeps going for that near side underhook, manages to face post this sweep. Gorgeous, looks like it hurt though. And pummels over just as points come in, so he does get the points for this pass, much to the sadness of the Tommy fans in the crowd. And again, every time Tommy pummels another butterfly back to get to another guard, Chen just steps over it again and racks up more and more and more points. Once again, follows the game plan, takes the back just like he had in 2 matches previously, but Langaker is really good at escaping from the back. He ends up in the crucifix and then uses a really nice reversal to get on top. And now Jozef has to play guard against the scary, angry Viking for a minute, but 9 points on the board. He does manage to play guard without getting past, and that is enough for Jozef to go to the finals. And even this bearded man has to say, fair enough, kid. Go win it with that gorgeous mullet. Jozef has to take on Oli Taza in the final. Crazy run, but first, footsie-wearing referee has to take some hair off the mat. That's disgusting. Taza starts off looking over and over again for some kind of foot sweep, so Jozef baits the foot sweep and hits a lovely little knee pick for the first takedown. And in regular time, again, Jozef really just tries to keep his legs away from Taza, who has been heel hooking the life out of everyone. Gets to the back here, again, Taza scrambles his way out. It's just a very scrambly match in general. Here, Jozef tries to use the Lucas Lepre seatbelt back take. It doesn't quite come off because Taza keeps his back on the mat, but Jozef's gonna keep that one in his back pocket for later on. You might see it again. Even gets this Berimbolo shootout just at the end of regulation time. Doesn't consolidate position, so there's no points on the board, and they head into one of my favorite overtime moments in Jiu-Jitsu. Massive double leg shot from Taza, and Chen turns it into an even bigger Uchimata, but as he tries to step over, Taza takes the back. But from there, Chen does hit a gorgeous reversal, tries that Lucas Lepre seatbelt back take again, and does pull it off, almost teleports to the back within 2 seconds of having his own back taken, and the crowd is like, how the fuck did he do that? What is this child made of? Jozef again manages to get the back, gets the body triangle, and Taza eventually gets out of it, but that's the entirety of the overtime. So that is Jozef Chen winning ADCC European Trials. Just fantastic performance, a killer's row. The mullets in the crowd are very happy for the representation because he is one of them. But yeah, obviously Jozef Chen, one of the ones to watch at the moment, trains at the B team a lot, has trained with Jason Rao, so obviously he's got some serious masterminds behind him, and he is going to be a problem at ADCC next year, which is shaping up to be an absolute monster of an ADCC. Thank you guys for watching, I appreciate it very much. Let me know in the comments if there are any other things you want me to break down. I'm kind of like scrambling for ideas of what to do. I'm trying to release a video every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Friday, so hit me up, like and subscribe, and share it with all your mates.